What's up, everybody? I'm back from vacation. I'm here to do another musically rockin' movie review. So I finally got to see one of my most anticipated films of the year, the Queen and Freddie Mercury biopic, Bohemian Rhapsody. Bohemian Rhapsody is a foot-stomping celebration of Queen, their music, and their extraordinary lead singer, Freddie Mercury. The film traces the rise of the band through their iconic songs, revolutionary sound, and downfall of Mercury attempting a solo career and his AIDS diagnosis. So does Bohemian Rhapsody rock you? Let's find out. Now, before I get into my thoughts, let me know what you guys thought of Bohemian Rhapsody in the comments down below. Did this movie pack a punch of Queen, and is Rami Malek pretty much set for getting Best Actor at the Oscars? Now let's get into some of the good things this film did. Everyone's talking about it, and I totally agree with them, but Rami Malek did a phenomenal job at bringing Freddie Mercury to the big screen. Starting off, he looks identical to him. I mean, look at some of these side-by-side shots. Like, the mustache, the look, the vibe, all of this looks great, but looking like him is only about half the job, and Rami Malek did a phenomenal job at bringing his stage presence, energy, his little mannerisms, even the teeth, like his big oversized teeth to the character, and he was able to portray this guy just flawlessly throughout this film. He was able to capture the emotion of all the way up to the high, happy moments of Queen in his life, all the way down to the kind of depressing times of his life, and also his singing on stage was great. I'm not sure actually how much of his singing was him, but it was good. Speaking of singing, this brings me to the music. It's Queen, come on. It's gonna be phenomenal, like all of these tracks from Killer Queen to We Will Rock You. We will rock you. Sing it! To Bohemian Rhapsody, to Another One Bites the Dust, and so many more. All of these songs are in this movie, and it just drives and moves this movie forward. Again, the fact that they actually got the real music for this movie was great, because if they didn't, it wouldn't have been the same movie. But all of these great tunes, everyone knows these, and basically when they're playing on screen, you're tapping, you're singing along, all of this stuff, and it's able to bring Queen's spirit and Freddie Mercury throughout this whole movie. Adding on to the great soundtrack of Bohemian Rhapsody was also kind of like the recreation or kind of look at some of the bigger scenes, specifically Live Aid. They were able to replicate this pretty flawlessly. The band, the songs, the crowd, the atmosphere, all of this was recreated really well, and it was a great kind of performance-driven finish that this movie deserved. Now, getting into the story, I will say that the overall story was kind of underwhelming. I'm not entirely sure what I built up in my mind or was expecting from this film, but it's definitely a Queen and Freddie Mercury biopic. It does focus on the beginning of Queen, kind of going through their performances, but then kind of steers more into Freddie Mercury's life, more of a biopic for that character rather than the band in general. And the negative that really jumped out at me was that this story was pretty much all surface level. You know, we get the songs, we get the introduction of kind of big key moments through the band's history, but I wanted more substance to this. Instead, it's kind of this meandering story, you know, kind of highlights from the band, and it gets into some of the dark, depressing stuff that Freddie Mercury had to deal with, but never really getting in too deep. Rather, this movie and story was kind of a safe bet and really focused more on the happy moments, if that makes sense. Also, I don't know if it was me or just the movie or whatever, but I just felt like certain scenes or sections or characters were rushed and just introduced, and I'm just sitting there like, who the hell is this mustache guy? Another small thing was the concert venues, more specifically Live Aid in general. Now, obviously, recreating this was tough. You know, you can't make it 100% perfect, but kind of when it zoomed out to the stadium, to the crowd, all of this stuff, it very much was CG. You could tell that it was fake, and I mean, it's hard to do this. But then again, if we compare it to A Star Is Born, which came out earlier, it was kind of had, you know, these bigger concert venues or country stages, which looked really good. I will say that the stages in that were a little bit smaller and stuff like that. So it's not exactly a great comparison, but in this film, Live Aid did look a little off. Overall, Bohemian Rhapsody is a phenomenal look into the career and discography of Queen, but the story kind of fails to take risks. With a phenomenal performance from Rami Malek and some kick-ass songs and performances, but with a very meandering and underwhelming story and some kind of CG and plot missteps, I'd recommend checking out Bohemian Rhapsody. The overall story may not be what you want, but the Queen songs will definitely make up for it. So what did you think of Bohemian Rhapsody? I want to know in the comments down below. Anyways, guys, as always, thanks for watching. Follow all my social media stuff over there. There's more videos down there. Subscribe over there. Click that little button. There's t-shirts over on TeePublic, many more videos on my channel, and until next time, I'll see you later.